Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got the classic Age of Empires matchup as slow and heavy meets light and powerful on the grasslands of Arabia, with Mr. Yo playing as the Teutons in red, taking on Hera playing as the Mongols in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore the dimensions of flat Earth and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Teutons are a brawler civilization designed to take a punch to the face and still stay standing. All of their barracks and stable units get free extra melee armor in Castle and in Imperial. Their siege units can be upgraded to get a big +4 melee armor boost. Their towers have extra space to garrison more units inside and therefore fire more arrows. And by the way, the same goes for their town centers. If you take a look, 0 out of 25 garrison space compared to the usual 0 out of 15. They also get murder holes and herbal medicine for free, so their units can heal super fast inside of castles while they are protected against melee units. Now, those same Teutonic castles can actually be upgraded to have extra range and fire extra arrows when garrisoned by infantry, which in Age of Empires is a pretty big deal, since normally only villagers and archer units garrisoned inside a castle will add arrows to that castle. Now, on the field of battle, once the fighting starts, all Teutonic units have a higher resistance to conversion, and if they're hurt, they can be healed by monks from twice the distance, which is fantastic news for their unique unit, the Teutonic Knight. This is a super slow, incredibly powerful, heavily armored infantry unit. And lastly, to support a big, hungry population, Teutonic farms come in at a 40% discount. Now, speaking of big, hungry populations, as the Ibex goes a little bit stubborn here for Hera, let's look at the Mongols, an incredibly fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Their light cav, their hussars, their steppe lancers all come with extra HP, and their unique unit is the Mangudai, a fast-firing, quick cavalry archer with an attack bonus against siege units. So one civilization with ironclad giving them more melee for their siege, one civilization with an attack bonus against siege. Unfortunately for our Teuton, a pierce attack. So ironclad not really expecting to see that in this game. Now, to keep pace with their incredibly fast army on the battlefield, Mongol siege units can actually be upgraded to move 50% faster. I really do hope, as I say every time we watch the Mongols, that we get to see this upgrade. It basically turns their siege units into mini bumper cars for us to enjoy. Oh, you piggly wiggly, you are very far from home. This is Babe. He went to see the big city, discovered a few deer, and now we'll probably turn around and, yep, go home. Unfortunately for him, the only thing waiting for him at home are a bunch of hungry villagers. So might want to stay out of the town center for as long as you can, little adorable piggly wiggly. Now, to support their military endeavors, Mongol hunters do work 40% faster, and their houses can actually be upgraded so that they don't lose population space if they get destroyed. Those are the two civilizations, like I said in the intro. One very slow, very plodding, but incredibly powerful. One very light on their feet with some pretty damn fast firing units. Basically the definition of torque. You've got something that moves incredibly powerful but slow and is nigh unstoppable against something that is very light on its feet, very quick, but a little bit less powerful. I mean, I say a little bit less powerful, like as if the Mongols can't really pack a punch. Man, can they pack a punch, as anyone who has ever played them or faced off against them knows. This is not a civilization to be taken lightly, as Hera now discovers where his opponent's base is, does a bit of a strudel loop-de-loop. Mr. Yo has not yet seen where his opponent is. What? Okay, he is moving out with 7 villagers. We've got a potential tower rush. Now he discovers where his opponent's base. So very fortuitous for him that he basically made a straight line for Hera's base. Now, having discovered it, he needs to find where those resources are, which we have not yet even looked at, just so he knows exactly where to lay him. And our Mongol, by the way, same villager count, is going to be ahead about 25 seconds, I'm assuming, because these Teutonic villagers heading on the offensive already have loom, while the Mongol skip loom. So, oh, barracks gets denied here by Mr. Yo. Not something we see every day. Let's take a look at this Mongol base as the barracks gets rebuilt here to the back. Ooh, okay. Not exactly the greatest use of villagers, but for the next 6 seconds until he can put up a tower, not really much for them to do here, as Hera knows exactly what the presence of these villagers means. He knows exactly what he's up against, and now he brings his own villagers forward. Are they still loomless? I think he finally did get loom. If I can finally click on one of them, dear Lord, that took a long time for me to click on one of these villagers. And a bit of a village brawl here erupting. And there we go. There is our first watchtower being placed. So laming the secondary gold, laming a bit of the wood here, but Hera responds with his own. Looks like he got the first kill of the game with the scout, but the first villager kill of the game going to Mr. Yo here. Let's see what he can get done. More and more villagers are attacking, dying, trying to get this castle up. How many villagers are left for Mr. Yo? Only 5. Hera's managed to kill 3 units, the scout and 2 villagers. So all of a sudden, this Teutonic bush doesn't look as bad as it was. Looking a few minutes ago, as now both of them are scoutless. Teuton Tower is up. It has room for 10 villagers. Only 2 are inside here. Let's take a very quick look as these players engage. With villagers, it looks like Hera will be able to take down this one Teutonic tower here. Primary gold. I mean, assuming Mr. Yo has seen this, so why did he choose to build a tower here to lame this gold? And what are these red dots? There's even more villagers coming across the map. Oh no, Tony the Tiger. Tony the Tiger, no, you... No! One villager for our Teuton denies Tony the Tiger, says, I don't want your damn frosted flakes. I don't want your diabetes for breakfast. And the Tiger takes it personally, roars, kills, slaughters that villager. As more and more villagers are fighting here. This is a... I mean, you'd think we were on Socotra or Haboob or one of these smaller maps, the way these two are fighting tooth and nail with their villagers. Got a villager chasing. Okay, Hera's got to be careful now. One wrong misstep by that villager, and down he goes. Looks like Hera did lose a villager up here. So Miss Hero's killed 2 villagers. Hera's killed 4. And that's all she wrote. That is all she wrote as the game derps out at the 12-minute mark. Hera trying to Mr. Yo these villagers, but this is a big wide opening here. These villagers can run to different directions. Hera still on the chase. Okay. I'm trying not to shoutcast, you know, I'm trying not to get super duper ridiculously excited here, looking at a few villagers attacking each other, but this is so out of the norm of standard meta, especially for these two players. Not that they don't do things like this at all, they do, and you're looking at it, but this is just, I don't know, not exactly what I expected when I thought I was going to watch a Mongol versus Teuton game. Oh man, she is chasing very far. She wants this 2 HP villager. Will she get it? No. Instead, she gets a bunch of arrows to the back. No. Monsieur, will he notice? Will he notice that there is a 2 HP, rather 1 HP villager in his midst? Let's see what's going on around the map. We've got 0 army supply for both players. Hera at 25 villagers. Mr. Yo at 21. Mr. Yo seems to be retreating with 1 villager, moving forward with another villager, retreating with others. Everyone is chasing everyone. Tower for our Teuton is down, but now there's a barracks as well. 5 villagers brought forward into the center-ish of the map. I have not even looked at where the resources are located on the map. Villager looks like maybe with the high ground, but doesn't really matter. 5 villagers still good enough to take out a scout. Town center adding a few arrows here. Hera loses a villager to retreat on home. And now a spearman. Okay, so he's going to start zoning out these scout units. When you've got nothing to do, place a house. Good time for us to take a look at what the hell's going on in the bases. Primary gold, forward, primary. I'm going to make this about as quick and basic as possible. Primary gold. Actually, I don't want to say forward. This is off to the side, and it's protected by a forest here. So good location for primary gold. Primary stone to the back. Additional gold to the forward, and we saw the one to the left exposed. Additional stone to the back, also a bit exposed, but it is in the rear position. Another tower attempted, a tower denied. 1 down, 1 denied. Mr. sitting on 262 stone, so he can keep building the towers as much as he wants. He's got 3 villagers on stone. Hera's got 0. More and more civilian conscription happening here. As these villagers continue to battle each other, the spearmen want to close in on the scouts. The scout want to pull the spearmen into the town center. The villagers want to close in on everything. Now, what makes this so chaotic, what makes this so much fun, why I mean, I'm trying to, again, like I said, not to shoutcast, but it's an exciting thing because these, how do I put this? These civilian units, these villagers, okay, Mysterio now does not want to get his tower denied for a second time. These have to be microed incredibly well. I'm very curious to see what the highest APM point of this game is. Because unlike these units, the military, the spearmen, the scouts, the Teutonic Knight, the Mangudai, villagers don't automatically attack. If you right click to attack one unit and it dies, they'll just stand around until you instruct them to attack another unit. And so that's what makes it such a fun situation here, is that the intense level of micro out of both players. We've got 5 villagers inside, 2 outside, 3 spearmen as well. Even more villagers being brought forward. Okay. So Mr. Yo committing to the tower rush, committing to this aggression from literally the first minutes of the game. I haven't even taken a look at his base, although it looks like Hera's scouts are moving forward. Mr. Yo's got nothing at home except this one spearman, although one spearman should be enough to zone out 2 scouts, especially when one of them is basically dead. But speaking of dead, down goes the Teuton villager. They are still fighting tooth and nail. I have a short, if you haven't seen it, of Hera and MBL, both stubborn as donkeys, fighting over a feudal age tower. It looks like the exact same thing is happening here again. History may not repeat itself, but it definitely ripples, or whatever the hell the quote is, as now Hera finds himself not fighting MBL, but Mr. Yo, who is continuing to pump out spearmen. Unfortunately for him, he is in feudal. If he was in castle, these spearmen would come with a +1 for free melee armor boost. Tower's got 2 villagers, 8 villagers. Oh, very interesting. Usually when Hera abandons ship, Hera says, okay, you know what? Forget this. I'm losing way too much. Monsieur's got 21 kills to 17, 15 villager kills to 8. Your spearmen are zoning out my scouts. I'm just going to abandon ship. What the hell can you really do with a tower here? Lame a third of my lumber line and that's it? Okay. But what's interesting is that for the first time, I mean, when did I start this channel? A year and a half ago. For the first time that we're watching a Teuton tower rush, the player rushing has brought 10 villagers. Now, why is that exciting? Because as we saw, these towers can fit 10 villagers and fire 5 extra arrows, which makes them even deadlier than normal. I mean, they're fighting a house that has 8 pierce armor, so not exactly the best of examples. As Hera returns this time with 2 fully healthy scouts. But that is exciting. Usually when you're watching a Teuton tower push, it's another villager down. It's with 6 villagers, 7 villagers. Mr. Yo here really maxing out. This is like when you're playing craps at the casino and you bet the pass line and then you don't max out your odds behind it. For anyone who's not a degenerate, it's the best bet in the casino is the odds behind the pass line in craps. And so you generally, if you are, if you find gambling interesting, if you're a gambler or like to gamble, try to make that sound as wholesome as possible and not as degenerate as possible. Generally, you like to max out your odds behind the pass line. And what that means is you want to take advantage of the full... you know what? I shouldn't have even done a gambling analogy. I should have done an Age of Empires analogy. I'll make it very simple. You've got fully upgraded elite longbows. They've got 12 range. Stay 12 tiles away from your opponent. Don't move in 3 tiles away with your longbows. That's exactly the same principle here. Mr. Yo can garrison 10 villagers, do maximum damage. Although, where the hell are the other 5? Oh, they're building an outpost here. So he's brought all 10 villagers, which is incredible. It's amazing. It's the first time, like I said, in a year and a half that I've ever seen somebody actually max out the full potential of a Teuton tower rush. And not only anybody, it's Mr. Yo. Against not only anybody, against Hera. So you've got 2 of the arguably best players in the world. And they're, you know, let's see how it all shakes out at the end of the day. Maybe I'm getting excited for nothing. Maybe the game will end in 3 minutes. I suspect it won't. 2 villagers in here means 8 out here, but the villagers slowly, their HP is starting to dwindle. Focusing on the spearmen means that these 8 villagers are still around, and now they can hide in here. Although 8 has become 7. Now there's 3 down here. So he still has 10 villagers. Mysterio might want to get a blacksmith. Okay, never mind. Has a blacksmith so that he can get fletching. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, 7 villagers. They're trapped. They're trapped. This isn't Castle Age. You don't get murder holes for free yet. There is no such thing as murder holes. Your civilization has not discovered it. Hera blocks the villagers. But why did his villager retreated? Not to take tower fire, but by retreating, the HP on the gate remained super low, uncompleted. And so the villagers were able to punch their way through. I mean, again, this is just not an insane level of action, but the action that we're watching, at least for me, is pretty damn impressive so far. The question is, what will Mr. Yo do? He's got enough stone and wood for 1 more tower. If he places it, where will he place it? He's finally lamed the primary and secondary gold of his opponent. There's a little bit of gold here. Has he explored it? Yeah, he's seen it. So I'm wondering why he's not putting pressure here. If you can lame all 3 gold piles of the Mongol's going to be in a bit of trouble. Especially since the Mongol has no food, no wood, and just a tiny bit of gold. But what he does have is 6 scouts, and they are converging here. So Hera, doing what Hera likes to do, his instinct kicking in. Oh, you're pushing into my base? I'm going to defend, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm also going to push into your base. So 3 towers here, garrisoned by various quantities of villagers. Gold mine here. This is potentially a deadly oversight by Mr. Yo. And now Hera discovers this very southern lumberjack operation. It is very far from the town center. Villagers being brought forth for gold as well. So is Mr. Yo finally ready to go up to Castle Age, or at least try to start going up to Castle Age? I mean, this is just going to be like shooting fish in a barrel right now. Although these scouts don't have, maybe not shooting fish in a barrel. He's definitely gonna lose a lot of villagers here. Is our Teuton, but not like Hera's getting these kills for free. There are spearmen here. Did Mysterio build a defensive barracks? No. So these spearmen have come from a long distance. They walked 500 miles to kill these scouts and archer. Skirmisher pops out, tries to get the archer. Will he get it before he dies? No, he does not. And now the archer is going to pick off the spearman as well. But now the archer is going to die, which means these scouts with their 2/3 HP are not going to be as intimidating as Hera would like them to be. Tinkle, 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 go the battles. Hera's got 250 gold. Mysterio's got 200. Finally has secured his base. Hera sees 1 scout returning home, says, you know what, I don't want any part of this. A 4th tower has gone up, but now we're down to 8 villagers. Unless, again, I'm missing something. No. So this town center, oh, that's so sour. This tower doesn't reach it. This tower doesn't reach it. This tower, I believe, does reach it. So it's being attacked by 2 towers. Which it looks like it's taking 65, 57... What am I looking at? 8 or 9 HP every volley that it fires. Okay. Taking revenge on the Teuton villager's death. Hera decides to make a show of that tiger. And by the way, I love that Hera is taking the riskier stone. Not the stone that's nice and secure in the back of his base. I love moves like this. When you've got the opportunity, take the riskier resources, because you never know when you're going to get pushed back into the nooks and crannies, the corners of your settlement. And by taking this stone, you're ensuring that you still have a reserve at home. Speaking of at home, Mysterio is still pretty exposed. Where's his army? A few spearmen. A skirmisher loses another villager, another farmer. And now these stone miners are not as secure as he'd like them to be. And Mr. Yo is heading, Hera is heading up to Castle Age. He's got 900 stone. Where the hell is he going to place his castle? What do we think? All my fellow gamblers out there. Is it going to be a defensive castle placed like right here? Is he going to delete a bunch of farms and place it right here to kill all 4 of these towers? Oh, by the way, look at this. Mysterio stealing the gold right from underneath the very nose of our Mongol, who sees all of it. Or will it be an offensive castle designed to just end the game in 5 seconds by placing it here and having Mysterio have 0 ability to defend against it? Although, I say zero ability. He's going to be a minute. Let's see, 30 seconds, a minute, and 30 seconds away from Castle Age once his opponent hits Castle Age. So all of a sudden, the map is deathly quiet. 10 villagers have become 8 there, stealing the primary gold. Hera, he's in castle in a few seconds, wants to get a castle up immediately. Mysterio knows that there might be a castle coming on this high ground, immediately places a house, but Hera finds location, location, location is the #1 rule of real estate, and Hera finds a decent location. Maybe not the best, but that placement of the house really did stop him from going that much forward. He's only laming 3 of these gold patches, 2 towers out of the 4, but I guess that's enough. Mysterio abandons ship, abandons gold ship, I should say. Archers continue prowling, but they are still virgins. 0 kills, 3 kills on this band of brothers. And now we've got Step Lancers. The Mongol is about to start hitting back hard. 5 Mangudai in production queue, 4 Step Lancers, and our Teuton has, 7 I'm trying to look on the bright side. 7 skirmishers, which may or may not be elite. He's got the resources for it. Tower falls, only 2 remaining towers, 4 villagers inside. Step Lancers killing the rest. They doggedly tried to get this tower up, but okay, not something you see every day, a Step Lancer dying to a tower. And now these skirmishers, they are going to have Bodkin in a second, in rather 15 second. Hera is buying food. He's selling stone for gold. He is getting more and more Mangudai ballistics husbandry. He's already got bloodlines. Mysterio is trying to get this tower up. Why? What's the importance of this tower? There's literally nothing being lamed here except a stable. And he's lost all of his villagers. Is that it? I mean, there is a Teutonic stable, and now these knights are going to come with that free +1 attack armor, melee armor boost. So it's going to make them a little bit tankier against, I guess, villagers. Now that there's no Step Lancers, although there is 1 Step Lancer somewhere. Going to do absolutely nothing against their 8 pierce attack of the Mangudai. And there's the elite skirmisher upgrade for our Teuton, who sends forth 2 more villagers. They've got hammers in their hands. Are they also going to try to get this tower up? What is the significance of this tower? What am I missing here? Hera's zoning out skirmishers with villagers. These guys have minimum range, which means they cannot allow the villagers to close. Weak as the villagers are, they will kill those skirmishers. But you know what? I love this move by Mysterio. He's pulling the Mangudai out of the what do I want? Out of the way, basically. But when your unit moves at 1.5 tiles a second, they can get back real damn fast, especially with the vision that he has. He sees them coming from a mile away. And all of a sudden, it looks like Mysterio's attack is completely done. He's only down 8 villagers. I say only. That's still a big gap. Hera confident enough now. He's starting to upgrade his villagers economically. Mysterio, by the way, going up to 3 town centers. What is this location for a town center? Is the whole point of this just to keep them hidden from Hera? Yeah, Hera hasn't even explored this southern bit. 2 monks back home. So it looks like Mysterio has abandoned the offensive here. I mean, Hera's definitely going to discover them very soon if these Mangudai come here. Yeah, he's going to see the stone miners. I'm assuming the stone miners are going to run straight to the town center, chased by the Mangudai. Yep. And Hera sees now the 1 town center. He'll see the second one. He'll see the villagers. Actually, maybe not. Maybe not. Actually. Oh, 1 tile away. Literally 1 tile. How sour is that for Hera's scouting? Not that Hera really needs the scouting at this point. His army supply is 13 to 9, and it is a pretty damn good 13. Where is this 1 Step Lancer, by the way? Injured. It's still here. Mysterio trying to get some villager kills. Will he get 1 before the Mangudai get him? The answer is a resounding no. Tower 96.97. Is there such a thing as a doubt tower? Like I said, I only started this channel a 1.5 years ago. Let me know in the comments, is there a doubt tower compared to a doubt castle, or have we discovered a new something in Age of Empires, a Mysterio tower? Oh man, monks are dying. Elite skirmishers are dying. Mangudai, 1 dies. What a cool death animation with that cape thrown. But uh-oh. Another stone miner gets caught out of position. Will Hera notice? Of course he notices. Will he kill him? That is a different question. Another monk. Oh, absconds to the town center. Oh, he finally does get him. He finally does get him, but loses a Mangudai for it. Battering ram is now out. Hera has pretty much secured his base. He's up to 2 town centers. He's only 6 villagers ahead, but 10 army supply ahead as these skirmishers try their darndest to zone out Mangudai. But if you've ever tried to zone out Mangudai with bipedal units that move at half the speed, of 2/3 the speed, you know just how difficult that is. 2 knights pop out. Will he train anymore? He's got no food for it. He's going after the ram. He's got to get it. Villager dies to the tower, but 2 more come forward. Oh my goodness. The theme of this game for Mr. Yo is almost, but not quite. Almost got that villager. Almost got that ram. Almost got the laming here with 4 towers, but that is all she's going to write for this tower offensive, as I don't think Mr. Yo is going to really stick around. Oh, no, he is. He's 1 more knight is coming out of here. Okay. Does he see the town center with a shitty line of sight of a stone wall? No, he does not. So he doesn't know that there's a tower here. He might notice if some of the villagers start mining on the right side of the gold. Okay, now he's got his knight garrison in here just waiting to die, basically. Mr. Yo is housed at 75. He's getting ballistics. Hera has skyrocketed 10 supply ahead of his opponent. Still ahead 7 villagers. Still ahead 8 army count. And now securing the right side. An interesting location for a castle here. Doesn't want to get, I guess, get sideswiped. But you're facing the Teutons. They're not very fast on their feet. Okay, skirmishers will zone out the Mangudai as the knights pop out. Will they finally get the ram? Will they? Will they? Oh, finally. But holy shit. How many more Mangudai pop out? We were looking at 14 Mangudai plus 2+1 attack upgrades and defense upgrades, armor other upgrades on them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hera, forget the skirmishers. He's going after the villagers. Oh, I mean, that was about as Mongol as you can get right there. Just slaughtering civilian population left, right, and center. And I think Mr. Yo, I mean, actually, how many villagers did he send forward there? 7 villagers out of 62 total. Is more than 10% of his economy just got destroyed in the actual blink of an eye. And wow, okay. That was a pretty fun game, I think. Again, I have yet to have seen either on my channel or, now that I think about it, on even other channels during tournaments, during just regular casts, high elo, low elo, doesn't matter what kind of legend you are. I have never seen 10 Teutonic villagers actually be used to tower rush. Usually, like I said, it's 6, it's 7. Why? Because 10 villagers really does take a toll on your economy. Usually when you're tower rushing, your economy is in the mid to high 20s. So if you're pulling 10 villagers, that's like 40%, 30 to 40% of your economy being pulled. In this case, that's exactly what Mr. Yo did. I mean, not initially, but eventually he kept just sending clumps of villagers, 2, 3, 5 here and there, until he finally did get 10. But that was a super cool tower rush out of him. You just see the power of a Teuton tower firing on all cylinders with 10 villagers inside. Ultimately, though, he just couldn't quite lame enough of the resources. I also do wonder why he never tried to lame this gold. For a brief shining moment, our Teuton lamed the secondary gold he had lamed and was stealing the primary gold. But this gold is what allowed Hera to go up to the next age. In part, obviously not just that. And here we go. Hera is finally mining the stone inside of his own base. So amazing, amazing moves out of both players, taking the stone that's riskier instead of the reserves you have back home. It's like when nation states who have oil reserves themselves are importing oil just so they can save their reserves and whatnot. That was cool to see. The tower rush was cool to see. And what is never not cool to see is frickin' Mangudai. 34 kills. 34 kills. A glorified cavalry archer that just fires lightning fast. 1.4 second delay between attacks. I mean, the skirmishers, what, 3? These guys get 2 arrows off before these guys get 2 arrows, 1 arrow, 2.8 to 3 seconds. What an absolute badass unit. So it's never not fun to see that. And Mr. Yo having to deal, he should have known that Hera was going to counterattack the second he pushed into his base. It's just, it's like a thing that Hera does. It's like, you know, you should know that to expect it. I think he tried to defend against it as well as he could. Unfortunately, there was not enough wood, not enough resources to build a barracks over here. So he was relying on spearmen making the very long journey down here. And again, these are not spearmen with any kind of movement bonus. They're not Lithuanian. They're not Celtic. So they were just moving at their basic slow plodding. I think it's a 1. I wish there was a spearman out on them. I think it's a 1. They're born with a 1 tile per second movement speed. I think I like the hiding of the town centers. By the way, did Hera ever see this one? No, he didn't. I don't think he even saw the farms. I don't know why it shows the farms. When he came and he got vision here, there was no farms. But how sour is that for Hera not to discover a town center? That's literally the point, is right here. But that was pretty damn cool. That was an exciting, fun game. We got to see villagers attacking villagers. Oh, let's see the PKPM. Got to be in the 15 to 20 minute mark, right? 8.5 for... Oh my god, 1 + 1 does not equal 2 when I cast. The 8-minute mark of the game, and right at the end of the game. I mean, this is literally the end of the game. Literally the last 5 seconds of the game. I'm assuming it was this, because I don't see anything else going on around the map. But this 200 actions per second, 233 actually, skirmishers, scouts, not really telling the full true story of the game. But man, we got to see a lot in 46 short minutes. Economically, our Teuton only ahead in gold, and only slightly just by the skin of his teeth, because he managed to teeth a little bit of his opponent's gold. Everything else going to our Mongol, the wood, the food, the stone. So at the end of the day, a surprisingly, wow, only about a 15 to 20% bigger economy, even though Mr. Yo was using 10 plus villagers. Remember, his 10 villagers were there after a whole bunch of other villagers died. Although I guess Hera was also idling, quote unquote, idling his villagers when he was defending against the aggressive Teutonic villagers. But that was epic. I'm surprised that there's such a small disparity in economy. Hera also managed to get 2 relics. No conversions, of course. Those monks absolutely got wrecked before they could even get a single conversion. 89 kills to 64. Our Mongol very much ahead, both in military and civilian kills, it looks like. 45 to 21. That's to be expected, though. When your opponent tower rushes you and brings about 20 plus villagers, you're expected to lose a lot more villagers than your opponent. That's the name of the game. That is the sacrifice that your civilization makes for the glory of trying to take down Genghis-Hera, or Hera Khan, I should say, not Genghis-Hera, Hera Khan. And unfortunately, Mr. Yo just fell a little bit too, he lost a little bit too much to Hera's counterattacks. And his tower placement, fantastic. I really do wonder why he didn't try to lame the gold. We saw that he did see it. And that's why resource placement is super important to find out in this game, especially when you're going to tower rush. This first tower, I don't understand it at all. This second tower, I don't understand it at all. This one, I guess you're laming this gold, but you know, Hera's not going to take that gold if he's got this one here. So I don't know why the rush to get a tower up here. And this tower is, to me, the most inexplicable one of all. Why the hell was there a tower here? And why did Mr. Yo sacrifice so many villagers to get it up? Wink, wink to all you double entendre people. But yeah, ultimately, the tower did not go up. He lost a whole bunch of villagers trying to get it up. Lost a whole bunch of villagers. Look at all the blood on the grasslands, these autumnal dead grasslands of Arabia. And with all that blood and with all that mayhem and with the amazing hold against the 10 villager Teuton push, Hera takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.